Shalom Israel. As usual, you know, we come out week in, week out, and as often as the Most High makes it possible for us to push this word, man, to cry aloud. But before we start, we're going to do our usual, give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahab, Rakah, Kodash. Yeah, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who will and teach well, to the Akib and the Iris and Byron and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth.
So we're going to get straight into it. We're here again in Brixton where a lot of our people are still walking around in that darkness. And they don't realize that we were actually chosen to be above everyone. But you hear, and I don't know how long this has been going on since way back when, all our people want to be is equal. They, you know, you got the Benjamites and that talking in their tune talking about equal rights and justice. And when can you tell me there was a time of equal, when it was equal, or there was equal rights, or we had any justice? It don't exist. So what you're reaching for doesn't even exist. And for you to want to be equal, not knowing that you're actually meant to be above, man, you know, you're not looking too high, man.
You're aiming too low.
You're aiming too low, can't. You want to be in line with the same people that put you in this situation.
They want them to sit down next to you. You see, coming to America at the end, where my guy just comes in and lean up on the throne like that. That's what our people want these other nations to do in the kingdom.
It's funny you said that, because in that movie, and because I watched it recently, there's the servant who was an Israelite. His name was called Israel. They said, "Thank you, Israel."
That's right.
And he was serving the Edomite, and his name was called Israel, man. So they knew from all that.
We are homeborn slaves.
So you want to get the.
They do their little subliminals in the films, man.
Yes,
It's for you to catch them.
That's right.
Okay, when
I
you're
keep
when
on
you're
the Simpsons, one Simpsons. I think when he was in, what do you call them, a museum, you must have wiped something, and then you see like the paleo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They even put in movies, I don't want to go too, they put in movies like the end of this place as well, man. They put it in loads of movies.
Oh yeah.
That's right, in loads of movies.
Terminator.
Judgment Day.
What's the red pill, blue pill, but Matrix.
But in funny with that, with the Judgment Day, they had Judgment Day in there, like where...
It was called Judgment Day.
Sarah Connor was against that fence.
That's my favorite scene.
I got to say as well, because that shows that, you know, they know the Holy Scriptures is true, man. And the only people that really know that is the elites and the rulers of this world, and the Akim that have woken, and the Aquafim, Aquafim that have woken up to this truth. Everyone else don't know what's going on.
And by the way, it was an Aquafim that wrote the script for that movie.
Judgment Day and Matrix.
And Terminator 2.
When you read her bio, she said she was inspired by the Most High.
That's right.
Who did Predator?
Well, Predator basically is like a spin-off, but it's based on, it's like themed on Terminator. Well, Predator is based on, is it Jeremiah or is it Isaiah, when we would be turned into fishers?
Jeremiah 16.
16, yeah. So basically, he's a predator. But if you notice in the movie, if you have a weapon, because remember, we don't hunt the meat. If you do not have a weapon, the predator won't touch you.
Alright, 2 Samuel.
So this is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7 and verse 23, and it reads, "And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, Yasha'Allah, whom God, Yahweh Power, went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name." And
Hold on. But even when it says what one people is like Israel, if you look at us now, in our lower state, like during slavery, we was creating bare things. Obviously the slave master got the credit because it was painted in his name. And if you look at us now, it's like, what one nation could make a style where you're walking around with your pants around your knees, so you have to walk like that, and everybody following. Like, you can't see the other nations doing that
and getting away
and
with
I
it.
hate that style too.
Like you said, we're at the bottom, but we're still the trendsetters.
That's right.
We're at the bottom, and we still, you know, who can sing better than Whitney Houston? Who can dunk better than LeBron James and Jordan?
That's right.
Do you know what it is? Is that we're still the light of the world, but our light is dim.
That's right.
That's what it is.
No, it's dim big time. So imagine how much more if we was actually hearkening and doing what we meant to do and have that right spirit on us. What the capabilities will, like, we couldn't even fathom what we're capable of doing.
Really couldn't.
This is precept. Lamentations. Lamentations 4:1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a question we have to ask ourselves. How the hell did we get in this condition, man?
Yeah, so this is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 23. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people,
That's right.
even like Israel, Yasha'Allah, whom God, Yahweh power, went to redeem for a people to himself.
And that really is a rhetorical question because there ain't none. Right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods.
And like the brother just said, that's a rhetorical question. That's why it's got the question mark at the end. It said,
Yes, question mark. Yeah.
So it's telling you, no one is going to be above our Most High Power who chose us.
That's right.
Imagine that. The creator of all things chose us to be a chosen people.
That's right.
But you want to be equal. You want to be like Esau, you want to be like a Moabite, you want to be like all these other nations, but that separate holy nation.
There are no people. The scripture refers to them as nothing and less than nothing. That what's less than nothing? If you had nothing to start with,
The other nations.
minus nothing.
So you want to be less than nothing.
Less than zero. That was a movie, by the way.
Our people are aiming to be less than nothing.
That's right.
Because that's the mind state that's been put on us in this wicked kingdom, man. Because we got, like I always say, man, there's demons walking around.
Yes.
And Satan is actually manifest in these other nations.
That's right.
There's a few of them yesterday, man.
And Satan's also manifesting our people. But
That's right.
But that's through following these other nations, worshipping their gods, worshipping their powers, apart from the one true Most High power, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And also looking to fit in. You know what I'm saying? That's why where we've been debased so much as a people, now we want to fit in. We don't want to seem like they're excluded. Like none of these other nations that want to be us. Like they want to do what we can do, but they don't want to be us, man.
Like you say, everyone want to be
us.
so-called black, but no one want to be so-called black. You know what I mean?
They want to be us, but no one wants to be us.
And the thing about that is that, because this is not our rest and not our kingdom, as much as we tried to fit in, we could never really truly fit in. So that means what? We got to lie to ourselves.
That's right.
I know they say, what's the saying, man? Don't be fooled by the illusion of inclusion. Just because you can do it now, you can, participate in their fuckeries, man.
But all it's done is giving you a longer rope.
Get calm.
That was the beginning of my journey, actually seeking the truth. It was me not wanting to fit in, me checking it like, wow, like, what is this really, where's the end of this, like? Why would I want to be the same as everyone? What's the point of that? No, but trying to fit in, like, us trying to wear the same clothes, like, be down the same talk, I was like, what is that? It's pointless, it's vanity.
Yeah. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6, and it reads, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, Yahweh thy power. The Lord thy God, Yahweh thy power, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
We are the chosen people. I was going to read, it's got to come out. It came out through the Spirit anyway. So yeah, we are the holy people, above all people. He only chose a certain people, which was the children of Israel. In the New Testament and the Old Testament, it keeps telling you over and over again, he chose Jacob and he chose Israel, which name was changed to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel.
Right. So that's Yaakov, and his name was then changed to Yasha'Allah.
I want to get verse 7 down to 9 as well. 7 to 7.
7 and 7, yeah? So this is the book of Deuteronomy, continuing 7 and 7. The Lord Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number.
Really and truly, it's nothing that we actually did to be in the position that we're in. The Most High just favoured us because, you know, when you make something, you say, well, I like that one there still enough. So let me choose that one there. Yeah, that's what happened, man. It's not because, as it said, because what?
You know,
He did not choose you because you were more in number.
He didn't look and see, it's like, he didn't look and see, right, there's enough of those.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to grab these, man, all mine. Nah, that weren't the case. That weren't the case.
Quality over quantity.
That's right.
That's right. Because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
And because we went into Egypt 70 souls.
That's right.
Yeah?
That's
And then
right.
you have to remember, on top of
right.
that, we were the last nation to actually come about.
That's right.
That's why these Kemetans talk the way they do, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't business about being first. We know that our foreparents went all the way back to the beginning of time, man.
That's right.
That's good enough for me.
You know what's crazy as well, because normally we always, it says Jacob is the former of all things, right? So normally we are the trendsetters. But what happens is these nations end up catching on later, and then we kind of like, hey man, well, we've already experienced that, we've done that, man, and them. Because even in my life, brothers are probably the same, that we always heard that tune first.
That's
we always
right.
saw that.
That's
Now
right.
everyone else heard that tune 2 years later. Now like, I don't like that tune no more. Now, because everyone else has heard it now.
It's like when my friends would make music. You know that 50 Cent song, In the Club? It's Your Birthday.
It's a birthday.
About 2 years before that come out, him and his friends then made a similar song. When I used to make, made a similar song. When I used to make music, I made a tune. About a couple years later, Andre Fort, whatever Townsend, made a similar tune.
When I say that's spiritual, because I know brothers that's happened to. That's made tunes, and then brothers like, nah, he stole my tune.
The brothers that are in America that are multi-millionaires, brother that we used to chill with us, he's like, I wrote that lyric, and he's teethed it. I'm telling you,
Someone did that to, what's that tune? The tune that they do. They brought it to
He won the case, isn't
But it also shows that really that these people are watching. They're not thinking, but these people are actually watching.
we're
By spiritual too.
Because that's the link. If I can do, because there was another Jake that made a similar beat. You know? When I listen to his tune, I'm thinking, raw. But obviously these guys, they're known, innit? So they get all the accolade and the credit.
And they're gonna look at you like you're crazy, brother. That's my tune.
No, but not only that, that illustrates how the copyright thing doesn't necessarily mean that you created it. Because when those big artists make a song and they copyright it and they list it, they get the credit, even if they're not.
And then you have to be able to prove that you did it.
That's right. That's right. 8. Do you want to do 8?
Down to 9.
So, continue. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, 8 down to 9, verse 8. But because the Lord Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath...
And that's another thing. You won't really hear him call no other nation special. You know, you won't hear him say that he loves any other nation.
That's right.
Yeah.
which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord Yahweh brought you out.
And the thing about it, because we're so hard-headed, it's repeated so many times throughout the scriptures and it still like goes over our head. You know what I'm saying?
But he loved everyone.
Isn't it? Yo.
Have the Lord Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen.
This is how special we are. He's going to do that again on a bigger scale. Imagine that. Twice, you know.
And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen. So this scripture can also be used when we go into when we go into Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Redeemed you out of the house of bondmen or slave men from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
And that was a part of showing his marvelous works,
right.
like we read up. His marvelous works, and also terrible on the other hand for the Egyptians. So he can be marvelous or he can be terrible.
Well, we went into that. Remember Wisdom of Solomon? and was reading about the darkness and all of that.
Calm. Yeah, man. Most High can be terrible, man. He can be terrible to. Hey, Most High does what he wants, man.
Well, look at us. That's a form of terribleness, man.
That's it.
And love at the same time.
One of his titles is Al-Shadia, which means terrible, demon-like power.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome power. That's what he is. That was it.
And we want to pick up some mythical gods. Right, how you doing, man?
Get verse 9.
Oh, no. All right. Verse 9. Now, therefore, that the Lord Yahweh, thy God power, he is God, Al-Shadia, right? He is the power. The faithful God, Yahweh power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his
That's why when
commandments.
you read Malachi 3:6, at the end of it, it says, therefore ye sons of Jacob, you are not consumed. Because if he weren't none of these things there, we would have been missing a long time ago, man. Yeah. That's how wicked we are as a people, man, that the Most High would have let us go a long time, man. Yes,
and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
That just shows the mercy of the Most High as well, like the Prophet was saying, man. We've been getting up to all sorts of crap following these people. All our people out here, believe it or not, they're sinning right now. They don't even know it. They're sinning right now. They don't even know what they're doing, man.
They don't even care, because if you tell most of them that next week, they'll still be here doing the same thing.
They've forsaken the oath.
This is why Nehemiah was laying hands on our people, man. Yeah? And it was telling them, if you don't come back here, shut them gates. If you come back here, you're not going to get beaten, man. So they stopped coming back on the Sabbath, knowing that, no one weren't going to buy their goods.
And there's something I've always thought, every time I stand up, especially in this direction, this is the valley of the dry bones. This is a valley. This is a valley. If you look at it, this is a valley, and it's only dry bones in it.
Valley of the shadow of death.
That's right.
As they walk through.
That's right. The valley of the shadow of death.
And like I said as well, it's mainly our people that are walking through there.
What does it look like we do? Have a
No,
guess.
I'm just saying, I thought you were preaching to people, but it looks as if you are just having your own gathering.
We are preaching to people, but then who wants to stop and listen?
Well, you should make an effort, because you believe in what you are preaching, so make an effort to get people.
So what effort ain't we making? You tell me.
Because I just passed, and I thought you were having a discussion. If you are saying, oh, can you listen?
You know how many times we've been calling out to people and
This
people
is the
don't
first time
stop?
I've come to prison for a year.
So how are you going to tell us that we're not doing
I'm
that?
not telling you you're not doing it. I'm just saying that I'm just encouraging you
Okay, no problem.
to get people to listen to you. Or maybe if you have a leaflet.
Oh, we have.
The scriptures.
Would you like to listen?
I don't have time.
You see?
If you have a leaflet, I can go on your website.
Okay.
What did the Messiah say?
Sorry?
He said, what did the Messiah say? He said, my sheep hear my voice.
That's right.
So
I'm a Muslim actually, but you have to look into other things.
but the thing is this, is that we're not trying to call anybody. Those that are going to hear the word, like you came up, right?
But it's not loud enough for us.
Hey man, scriptures say prophesy to the wind, man.
That's right.
The spirit could go to in your house, man. They can hear us from the household.
We're filming, man.
We're putting out energy right now.
That's right.
We're putting out energy, and if your energy is going to connect with our energy, then you'll stop and hearken. If not, you're going to keep it moving.
Exactly.
That's the way it works. Not everyone's going to receive this, man, because not everyone is meant to receive this.
We're just preaching for a few good men and women.
Come, we ain't going out trying to buy megaphones and
Want to hear the words, sis?
Standing up on the...
standing up on the big stage, standing up above the shops, Hey, hearken to... Nah, man. It don't work like that, man. It's a spiritual thing, man.
The Spirit bears witness.
And we do call out at times, you know what I'm saying? Of course we do. But 9 out of 10 times people walk by, some might stop, most don't. But we're here, like he stopped.
Plus we're a spectacle out here, man. People ain't normally seen that,
Exactly.
So-called Negroes out, standing with Bibles in the hand with strange garments on. So
I know, right?
A lot of them are scared to come up anyway. But that's like we said. That Yahushua said, man, his sheep hear his voice. So the Spirit's going to lead you up here to come and hearken to the word. Or it's not.
It's like that sister, was it last week or week before last? Week before last, I think. Remember, she said she's seen us a couple times, but then she decided to stop and not.
Yeah.
And like what we're talking about, you have to be chosen. And I'm going to get into the strongs of the word chosen. And I don't know how to pronounce that. It's H977.
Baha or Baka.
Baha. which means to choose. So the Most High is the one who chooses. Elect, decide for. So the Most High decides for us whether we go and stop or not stop.
Where it says, I have chosen you, you have not chosen me.
Hey, it's all down to Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
You ladies want to hear the word?
To be selected.
You see?
To be selected. So you got to be selected to stop and hearken to the word. You got to be selected to go be at home and flick on a YouTube thing and be like, right, this is the truth. It's a selection that the Most High makes.
For real, because a couple people can watch the same thing, but then not everyone gets the same understanding from it, you know what I'm saying?
We've seen that many times.
And that's due to the curses as well. That's right. Smitten with blindness.
You might have sent a brother a video, simple video, thinking, yeah, you know, he can get this, man. And then, you know, after he's watched it, man, he ain't giving you any feedback on it because they say the Most High chosen to maybe watch it or not. He might be watching it for entertainment purposes, you know. But hey, man, like you said, man,
Even a couple of my friends that I know, is like, I've given them the spiel, you know, and nothing ain't really changed. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that,
The scriptures say, who that have an ear, let him hear. That's right. Everyone's got ears, but not everyone's going to hear this.
Do you know what? The other side of it that's funny too, because if it was Esau, it's because it's the brother Abadya telling them that. Should I say, you know, they know you from in the world more than likely, and they just looking at you like, well, you're no different to me. We're not, and they don't think nothing of themselves. So how can my brother know and tell me anything? You know what I'm saying? It's pride, man.
Yeah. The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people.
See, a peculiar people, man. Like, yeah, you need to listen to these words that have been said: special, peculiar, holy, royal. You know, and in our spirit, a lot of our people know that still. It's like today, you know, I'm calling out to someone and say, yeah, man, you know, we are queen. Kings and queens. So how come we're not acting like a king and a queen?
Definitely not. And that's in the New Testament as well, right? Because you know, a lot of people try to say, oh, you know, Israel, you know, that was all in the Old Testament. You read in the Old Testament? No, he's reading the New Testament, and yet again, he's still talking about Israel.
That's right.
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
Is that chosen again?
A holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know that really we were born to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
That's right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
It says, ye are my servants, man. That's what we are.
Did you finish that? Yeah. This is Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. Did you have this? It says, For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh have chosen thee to be a peculiar people.
See? So that's why it says in there, chosen, peculiar, in what the brother just read. Because all of those things is coming from the Old Testament, man. I think what he was reading there also goes back in Exodus 19:6. A royal priesthood, you know?
It says, a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth.
Why do we want to be equal, man? When the Most High is telling you, you're above all these other nations, but yet still you don't want to listen to the Most High. Even when he's trying to show you some good, like you're better than these people, you still, nah. I want to be the same.
Everybody's equal.
Everyone's equal.
Right, so basically, I've mentioned that we were created to serve, or we were chosen. You have it? You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, sorry.
Alright, 26 and 18, start 18.
26 and 18, yeah. There's a book of Deuteronomy.
You know why I like this one as well? Because people will say, oh yeah, but who made everybody? Well, let's see, innit?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26 and verse 18. And the Lord Yahweh have avouched thee.
So that's a vow we made. And you know the Most High don't break his vows, man.
Vouch for us.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the Lord Yahweh have vouched for us, avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people.
See, it's all throughout the scriptures, man. Go on.
As he hath promised thee,
Right.
and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments.
We're going to continue to show you who's the chosen people. We're going to get a few more chosen scriptures. I'll move on.
If I can just get, if I can, Baba Shah, get that word vouch.
18 and 9. Yeah, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26, verses 18 and 19, verse 19. And to make thee high above all nations, which he hath made.
So, you see, he shows you that he made all nations, but then he chose one to be above them. And how did he choose us to be above them? God?
In praise.
See, we're above them in praise.
And in name.
Yeah, Prince of Power.
And in honor.
That's right, because they're meant to be serving us. That's right. Go on.
And that thou mayest be an holy people.
Yeah, we're set apart. Yeah.
Unto the Lord thy God, as he hath spoken.
See, as he has said. So, whether we won't like it or not, it is what it is, man. Yeah, you can say, boy, well, I'm not above them, I'm equal. Well, that's your business. The Most High says differently.
And that's the job that Esau done on our people.
Yeah.
Now they think they're so low that they're trying to get equal to. Because in order for something to be equal, you have to think yourself lesser than in the first place.
Because we are the base people in this place. When they look at Esau, they look at him with the big house. They look at him with a big car, these so-called important jobs. You know, this is why they think, right, I want to be to that stature. I want to be equal to them. All that stuff that they got is nothing compared to what we got. We are rich in spirit,
right.
But you don't want to be rich in spirit. You want to be equal. You want to be carnal. You want to walk by the flesh and not by the spirit.
That's right.
And that's where it's going to get you, man.
You hear the word?
It's always something that feels less than that's trying to become equal. Like for instance, now you have women, right? They say we're equal to men, but you don't hear men saying, "Oh, we're equal to women," because we don't feel ourselves lesser than in the first place to say that. So you only say you're trying to be equal to something when you feel lesser than.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 13. It says, "And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy power, which I commanded this day to observe and do them."
So if we listen, we're going to be above everyone. Every other nation, if we was to listen to our power. But a lot of our brothers and sisters don't believe we got a power.
That's right.
Their power is Esau.
For themselves.
All themselves. What's the scripture say? Being lovers of yourselves, your own selves. And that is just all vanity, man.
That's right.
Ain't going to lead nowhere good. It can only keep you in darkness. The Most High is the one that's going to give us that light. That's going to let us shine. And we look like we ain't shining right now, but like I said, there's an energy that's going forth to the people that know that we got a light on us. They're going to stop and be like, there's something about you, brothers, and we've had it before. People stop and say, there's something about you lots, and we're not looking, we're not in some way. A lot of people walking past and laughing.
That's because we acknowledge we have a power. And that's who makes us shine.
That's right.
So it's not mattering about the outward appearance of us, like the scriptures talk about. It's about our inward appearance. And people are going to see our inward appearance shining out. If we carry on doing what we're meant to do, man, is follow the Lord.
If I can, just quickly, Baba Shah, because you booked the precept you brought out earlier, Malak, and it's told us that the Most High are vouched for us.
That's right.
So I wanted to just bring that word vouch out,
Yeah.
and it says to call.
You buy one?
You know, so the Most High has called us, man. A Christian will tell you, oh no, you have to do is choose the Most High. Was I have chosen you, you have not chosen me. It says to call, to summon. It says to give personal assurance, guarantee. It says to give surety, to warrant or defend.
Right.
You see that, man? Or give support.
Right.
He is our support.
That's right.
He is, and Yahushua
He's our guarantor.
He's our rock of salvation.
He's our big brother.
You want to bring out that precept out and then get Isaiah 4.
Okay, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verses 54 to 56. Verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all.
So we all came from Adam. You know, they're like everyone like saying, yeah, we all come from the same place. We all came from Adam. Okay, let's see what the Most High says about that.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So he's already separated a people from Adam. So he's saying we all came from Adam. So the scriptures say their name's Adam.
That's right.
So we all came from Adam, but out of Adam, a people that he has chosen.
That's right.
But even in this case here, we all come from the said Adam through Noah.
The Adam that the breath of life was breathed and he became a living soul. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Verse 56. As for the other people,
As for the other nations that are not Israel, not of the 12 tribes,
which also come of Adam,
what are they?
thou hast said that they are nothing.
What? No, I can't say that in this.
They are nothing.
King James version, yeah? Okay.
Nothing.
They are nothing, but be like unto spittle,
Right.
And spit.
and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
When it said abundance of them, Shani, that was the large amount. The Most High didn't
right.
choose. He said he chose. He said not that we was the biggest nation.
Chose the fewest.
But yeah,
He was the fewest.
The other nations are of a bad taste. You know, you got something mash up in a nasty taste in your mouth. That's when you spit in it. You get it out your mouth, man. It's a disgusting taste. And that's what these other nations are, man. Disgusting.
Verse 57. And now, O Lord Yahweh, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing,
And they've always had a reputation as nothing.
yeah, that's right, have begun to be lords over us,
That's right.
and to go to devour us. Verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, because Yahweh is likened unto our husbands, are given into their hands.
Most High's hot for us, man.
That's right.
Most High's hot for Israel.
That's right.
We're not so keen. We're
On the
moving
whole
cold.
side. Yeah, you know what
We're
I'm
giving the Most High the cold shoulder.
We're like a nonchalant wife.
Actually, it says that in the scripture.
we're like the biggest whore, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, you're damn right about that.
It says it in Jeremiah
You know,
chapter 3.
We
skirt
go
all
lusting
chopped
after
in,
other. We open our quivers to all these other
very
gods.
hard.
I'm using biblical language.
Come in. Yeah. You're welcome in. Come
Yeah,
in.
come in.
Where does
The
it say
strange
Jeremiah-
woman in the night.
Jeremiah
Come
3
in.
says,
I know.
if that land be greatly polluted.
I know, right? And still our power is so graceful and so merciful that even after all of that, he still would say, you know what, come back unto me. Clean up yourself
And come back.
and come back.
Most High's marvelous, man.
He really is.
But
He's
also
a goalkeeper.
don't get it twisted, man. He could be terrible as well.
That's right.
He'll put you through
Al-Shadia.
he will put you through some shit.
You don't want that Al-Shadia, trust me. You don't want it.
The precept Ak always brings out. The Most High put you to death. Out of mercy, man.
And it is merciful.
Yeah.
So that's how deep the mercy God gets.
Most High would be like, I've seen enough, man. You know, we need to get you out of this flesh ASAP.
Last time he was in that mood, there was only, what, 8 people left?
That's right.
God.
And then he had to not repent of himself, but remind himself he put a rainbow. He said, all right, then every time I see that, I check myself.
That's why.
But he replaced that with fire, man.
That's it. What's coming?
And that's why he turned his back and
That's right.
he sacrificed his only begotten.
That's right.
And,
We know for the Spirit it's got to be done, like it's
Yeah.
written anyway.
Yeah.
And like if you're measuring the time and you got that and you got that Spirit on you, you know this place needs to go.
It's got to go.
It's got to go. It ain't like I don't want to see it out of the 20s.
listen, man.
No, for real.
Listen.
Can't be seeing it out of the 20s.
It goes down this year.
Yeah.
Is that precept on this is Zechariah 7 and 11, but they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
See, so the Most High's trying to think, you're like, get off me, man.
Yeah.
What? Equal rights and justice.
I know.
Yeah. Jokers, man.
Oh, man.
Yea, verse 12, yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone. Stony boy.
And
Lest
that
they should-
adamant there, by the way, is diamond. The hardest
Hardest
material known to man.
says, lest they should hear the law. And that's what it boils down to, man. Our people don't like laws. Yeah? And the words which Yahweh of hosts has sent in his spirit by the form of prophets.
That's right.
Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Yeah. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear.
That's
saith
right.
the Lord of
That's
hosts.
right. Do so like so.
Isaiah 41 verse 8. But thou, Yasharallah, art my servant, Jacob whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend.
It says, but thou Israel art my servant. So the main point of us even being on this earth is to serve Yahweh by Shem El Shai. It says, oh Jacob thy servant. It doesn't talk about any other nation being his servant. Because that's not their role.
That's right. Exactly.
Our role is to serve our power. Their role is to keep us down from serving our power. That's their role. And we fell into their snares and their traps, man.
Yeah, that's 8. Did you not know that?
No. Bring out 43, 10 and 11.
Yeah, we fell into their trap, into their snare. We fell into it, man. This is why we got brothers talking about them in the trap house.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
trap.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
all in the trap. All in the trap. Whether you believe it or not, man.
We're in the
all
trap kingdom.
Can't. This is a can't. We're in that trap door, man. We fell into that trap door.
funny, I got a piece of that right here.
Isaiah chapter 43 verse 10. Ye are my witnesses.
So we're the witnesses as well. We're not just the servants, we're the witnesses, man. That's what we come out to do. To witness, like, we're like the ambassador for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Come out here to witness, man. Go on now.
Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And a witness is somebody who sees what happened. Most side labeled as seers, man.
That's right.
Psalms 33 as well.
Yeah. Psalms chapter 33, verse 12. It says, blessed is the nation whose power is Yahweh, and the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance.
And it says, blessed is the nation whose power is Yahweh. So straight away it's telling us we are the ones that's blessed. We're not moving like a blessed people. And a lot of our people are, yeah, blessed. Nothing ain't blessing out here, man. Nothing ain't blessing. Everything's defiled. Should be walking past like, yeah, defiled. Yeah, everything's defiled, brethren.
This is Psalms 47, verse 2. It says, for Yahweh Most High is terrible. He's a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. Verse 4, he shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob whom he loved.
That's right. And that strong for inheritance, page 5159. You want to try and read that out, my brother?
It's either Nahala or Nakala.
And that meaning of inheritance means a possession, a property, heritage,
And he's
and a
going to
portion.
choose that for us, man.
So we, his portion, he's inherited us. We've inherited him as the Most High. We got to be grateful. We ain't grateful.
That is our inheritance and our heritage.
This is Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So he gave us the land portion. Verse 9, for Yahweh's portion is his people.
That's right.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
No, I haven't, but I took it out. But yeah, man, it came out anyway, so all praises.
No, go ahead.
This is Romans, because a lot of our people are into these other religions, right? Especially Islam and stuff like that. They start talking about Abraham. They use Abraham as an example. The Most High was dealing with Abraham. We know the Most High was dealing with Abraham, but there was a specific lineage through Abraham that the Most High was going to deal with directly. Man.
That's right.
So it says, Romans chapter 9 verse 7, it says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children.
That's right.
But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Just to clear that up.
I wanted to bring up a quick precept too. That's just based on the trap thing that you said. Right. So this is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 5. So we're dealing with the trap. Yeah. Can a bird fall in a snare is an ancient word for trap. Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? So what this is just alluding to is that the Most High has set these traps, and when he sets a trap, it's going to catch something. So the 2/3 or whoever's that's getting caught in the trap is the Most High's will.
It says that he is a man of war.
He is a
So every trap he made on
ain't God.
This is Sirach 24, that's 11. Likewise, in the beloved city he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. And I took root in an honorable people, and in an honorable people, even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance. So
That's right.
you hear these words: special, peculiar, honorable. You know,
The Lord's
love.
inheritance.
Yeah. But then, you know, we want to be like everybody else, man, who's not special, who's less. Actually, let me bring this up. This is Isaiah. I just can't be bold to preach it on the Bible. Isaiah 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. So a dust on the balance don't weigh nothing. It says, behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for burnt offerings. So if you to burn up the whole of Lebanon and all these beasts, that's not him sufficient. It says all nations before him, and you know this all nations, we're not included in that, because
All other nations.
because if you look at the things which he says about us, you know that this can't be us. It says all nations before him are as nothing,
Right.
and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
So that's a precept to the second Ezra 6.
Like I said, as for the other
Nation,
as for the other people,
who's
who's
always
other nations.
who's been reputed as
And
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
You gotta think to yourself, man, what's less than nothing?
The other nations.
No, but they're less than nothing.
No,
That's like they wasn't even created, man. They're just there.
It's non-existent.
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 19 says, the portion of Jacob is not like them,
That's right.
for he is the former of all things.
Right. Which is why, you know, we're always setting trends, man. Regardless of what it is, man. We're always setting trends.
It's in a double-edged sword because, you know, as much as we're the former of all things, that means that a lot of this wickedness that goes on.
Yeah, we're the former.
Even though we are we're the best of being wicked as
That's
well.
right.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're the trendsetter, man. We
That's
got, like
right.
you said, wearing your trousers down to your
Heard it.
ankles
I know, right?
and all that kind of madness. And in prison, that was to let
Yeah.
brothers know that you're available.
Yeah, that's
Easy
right.
access.
And
That's
now
what we're
Jake's
doing nowadays.
taking that and making it a fashion.
And that's just spiritual as well, man. That's just showing Esau as well. You got your pat. They look at you like you're full, like he's done. You know.
Yeah, we
dead.
got him where we want him.
He's dry.
He's available.
Right, bro.
Ain't it?
He's available, man. To get
Available to be abused.
That's it, man. That's what I wanted to say, man.
So, Jeremiah 51 and 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, but he said the portion, man. So
Because remember, he divided the nations.
Can't. It says the portion of Jacob, then it goes into a smaller portion within the portion too. Because the elect is not like the rest of the two.
That's right.
Exactly.
It says,
All the one thing.
so it can't. It says the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Right.
Yahweh of hosts is his name.
That rod, like the staffs, you know, those represents power.
And authority.
Yeah, and authority.
It's like we said yesterday, that's them two sticks being put together.
Exactly.
It says Isaiah chapter 45 verse 17. It says, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation.
Right.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
So, 2 points really. Yeah. So we out here, we ain't ashamed.
No.
What you brothers, you know, you're walking past laughing, scoffing. We ain't ashamed.
No.
Like the Most High tells us. Yahweh Shem Yahushua tells us, don't be ashamed.
That's right.
We're not trying to follow these heathen out here.
That's right.
And we've been done that. We've been trying to follow these heathens, man. Where's that got us? Where's that got our people on a whole?
At the bottom.
At the bottom, death. That's all it leads to, is darkness and death, man. You want to keep following these heathens.
A Steven Seagal movie, Mark for Death. That's where it's got us. Mark for Death.
No fake rastas in that.
Hey man,
School
dusted
first,
all
man
of
told
that.
me that worse than this. Where the fuck is it? Where is it? We don't want fuck. Two black men and one white boy.
Years,
And they get wrapped up.
They were doing sacrifice and all that.
Yeah, they were,
gold
yeah.
sacrifice.
They're trying to paint a picture of our people in that video. They
They're taking liberties.
I'm saying that people don't get up to those things, but
Nah, I know, but he took a big liberty with that.
And the Americans can't speak the bottom to save them.
Nah, it's terrible. That's what I mean. It was terrible.
and little things like, it may seem like a small thing, it's just a movie, but that actually pushes the spirit out there to now where people think that's how we are. I'm saying, which is a spell, man.
They do.
Read that
It is a
last
spell.
verse.
So now people actually start becoming
It
petty.
is a spell.
The last. What I wanted to say as well. Now go on, read that. No, read what.
Last verse.
Oh, the last verse of 25. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 25. In the Lord Yahweh shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory.
See? That's what it's about, man. The Lord's people.
It says, I'm not going to say the key thing, it says, in Yahweh.
That's right. 'Cause that's how we get our glory, man, in the Most High.
It says that it says Israel, we say, and it says world without end. So we are the world without end, and that's why I got up to get this scripture as well. So it says world without end, and then 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world,
That's right.
and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So what, is the Most High double talking? No, Most High ain't double talking. That's why not everyone, that cuts John 3:16, number
That's
one.
right, that's right.
God so loved the world, because it's saying
right.
Esau is the end of the world. So there's a certain world in this place that is going to be the end of, man, which is Esau's world, man. This is what we're in right now.
Right.
This
Wayne's
wicked
world.
kingdom is going to is done for, but guess what? Guess the world without end, that's Israel.
That's right.
The world without end is Israel, and the
right.
world that's going to end is Esau. So your time's soon done.
That's
And
what we're
our
at
time
end,
is
yeah.
everlasting to everlasting,
right.
man. That's it. That's it. If Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai.
The saints shall take the kingdom.
We're not talking, it says speak how the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, speak.
Every man speak.
Yeah, let him speak oracles, and the oracles say the world without end is Israel. We're not going to be ashamed, because we are, at the end of it, we're going to have that prize.
I could say just quickly before you bring that out, because just thinking it's amazing to actually be alive in these times, witnessing this kingdom fall, man. Because when you read the word, you read that the prophets, they were looking for this time, man. Even back then, thousands of years ago, they were looking upon these days that we're in now. We know that, from the moment our king was crucified, that was the start of the last days. But we're really in that last hour, man, that last few minutes of this thing, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 24 says, for in the long garment was the whole world, and in the 4 rows of the stones was the glory of the Father's graven, and thy majesty upon the diadem of his head. So that long garment, going back to the priestly ephod, and then the 4 rows is the stones that was on there, showing you who. Because when you read it, it says, these are for the children of Israel, man, showing you who that world is, the children of Israel.
Representing each tribe, man. Each stone representing each tribe.
Yeah. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh. To what end is it for you? Question mark. The day of the Lord, Yahweh, is darkness and not light.
So there's a lot of nations out here that's trying to claim our power. A lot of nations trying to cling onto our power, because through the Spirit, they know that our power is the Most High power. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You got, what's the national anthem of this country?
God save the Queen.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. These people the Most High has not come to save you people. It says, woe to you that desire the day where you think you're going to be saved, God save the Queen and that. But that day for you is darkness, man. That's saith the Lord, it ain't light. It's going to be darkness.
Because really the God that they're dealing with is the God of darkness, which is Satan.
It's going to be complete darkness, man. And I was going to bring that out, what the brother brought out. I'm going to read it myself. 1 Peter 2 and 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of the darkness.
That's what we should be doing. We should be showing forth the praise of the Most High. Instead, we act like niggers and hoons and all these different things, man.
Into his marvelous light. So we the ones that can come out of this darkness, not these other nations. We are the ones, when that day comes, that can be out of the darkness and come into the marvelous light.
That's right.
But our people, yet again, want to stay in that darkness, man. They want to stay at home taking drugs, smoking weed, overdoing everything.
Our people does not consider.
Our people don't consider the judgment that's coming. This is what they don't consider.
This is Exodus 19, and I'll start 3. And Moses went up unto the Most High, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Yeah, so this is what we're telling our people, man. That we're a holy nation, man, a royal priesthood.
How can somebody read the holy scriptures and not understand the Most High is only dealing with Israel, man?
Because it says all up. It says all. Yeah, bring it up.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 43 verse 4. Since thou was precious in my sight, thou hast been honourable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life.
And who else has the Most High ever done that for, man? He licked down the whole nation, man. Brought them down to nothing for us. Then when he comes back, he licking down nations for us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So now we've determined who are the chosen people. In case you was
Jesus is coming is not in the very near future.
In case you was unsure of who the chosen people is, we've clarified that only Israel was a royal chosen people. And now what does the Most High, okay, so now we've established we are chosen people, but now what?
Yeah.
We're chosen, now
So
what?
what?
Yeah.
What
So what do you do now? Okay, we're chosen, that's it. You go home, everyone, go home, put your feet up. We're chosen. No. Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord Yahweh thy God power require of thee?
Alright, so now we're chosen. What does the Most High want us to do? What is his what's his requirements?
But to fear the Lord Yahweh thy God power, to walk in all his ways.
And to fear him means to reverence him and to actually fear him.
Just like a child
Both of
fears
them.
his parents.
Yeah. Otherwise you get your ass whooped.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
To fear the Lord Yahweh thy God power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord Yahweh thy God power with all thy heart.
But the thing is, it's not a bad thing to serve the Most High, because he blesses us when we do so. You know what I'm saying? It's not as if you serve, like we've been serving Esau for God knows how long and they ain't getting shite out of it. Yeah, but the Most High, when you serve him, you actually get a reward for serving him, man. And he puts you above everyone. That's one of the rewards, man. Isn't it? You know, when you look at what's going to happen in the kingdom, yeah, for us serving him on this side of the fence, our gates are going to be open continually, man. And then anyone that don't want to serve us, it's a wrap.
That's why it's a must that we seek the kingdom first.
That's right.
And all things shall be added unto us. And to serve the Lord Yahweh thy God power with all thy heart.
Yeah, no
and mind.
half-heartedness, man.
Put everything into this. You got to put everything into this, man. It's not easy in this place to do the work of the Lord the whole time, but you can in a way, man. Because anytime, you can pray through the day, You can be at work and stay in the same mind frame and the mindset in the spirit.
But you know what? When we're in the world, we put our hearts and soul into doing all kind of like to get a good job, or to get that car, or to get the money to pay it down on the house. Like we can do the same thing to serve the Most High, man.
All that takes energy as well. So you're putting your energy into something that's not profitable for us as a people. You know, where we should be putting our energy, should always be focused on sending our energy up to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, to show him that we are with him, man. That we, you know, we got his back, man, and then he's gonna have our back.
And that you're worthy of what he's willing to give you, man.
We're doing as we're told, you know?
That's right.
We're doing as the Father told us to do. We're not letting our Father down.
And that's how you show, that's how you glorify the Most High in front of all these nations. Regardless of what you're going through, you're still being obedient to the Most High. That's how you show, say, what? You know what? You've actually got a God, his words are true, faithful and true, by you being diligent in what you're doing, man.
You can't just do this here or, you know, read in your house and then go out into the world and be wicked. Just like in the flesh, you got a father at home. He teaches you all these things and says, don't do that. But then as soon as you step out the door, you're back into the world doing wickedness, man. So the Most High sees
them little schoolgirls, like they come out the house with their dresses down, and by the time they reach school, it's all the way up here.
I got a precept for what you just said.
That's why all these things come with faith, man. That's why without the faith, it's impossible to please Yahweh.
That's right.
But it says you have to believe that he's a rewarder. We don't believe that we're going to get rewarded for doing anything, so that's why we stay in the world, because you get your gratifications there and then near enough, you know what I'm saying? We don't really want to wait till later on. Like, so you have to die, like people try that shit. No, we're working our ticket now, mate.
Like I said, our people don't consider.
So this is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verses 12 and 13. Verse 12. And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? And this is the point here. Verse 13. No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other.
JJ in the house!
That's right.
That's right, JJ still here, ready on guard with both my guns, still here. Highly blessed, and the best thing brought forth to mankind.
So this is the book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 13. No servant can serve two masters.
Yeah, you can't serve the Most High and JJ at the same time.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
Hold to the Most High, or despise JJ, or hold to JJ.
You cannot serve God, Yahweh power, and mammon, which is money. So that's getting back to the point.
Sit on the fence with spikes, man. It's gonna hurt. Can't be sitting on the fence, man. Like JJ's bugged out. I ain't seen that for a while. Deuteronomy 30. Yeah, JJ's still here. 32. I think you bring out some of it. Deuteronomy 30 down there. Deuteronomy 32. Start from the top. Read 1 and 2, then jump to 9.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 1. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass.
So the Most High has given us this doctrine, man, which is sound doctrine. That's right. You know, and this doctrine, this has gone everywhere. That's why we got camps all around the world.
That's right.
So his word never goes back void, man. What he says, he does. He follows through, and that's the problem with our people. Just broken promises. You know what I mean? This is why we don't put our trust into man.
That's right.
Lips are, I got you, man, tomorrow, 10. And then you're looking at your clock like, brother said, man, he won't go let me down, 12, 1,
When they say in the world, you know, all a man has here is his seed and his balls, man.
That's right.
His word, so like his word, you know, his seed is his balls.
Exactly.
But his word, and that's the thing, as men, we have to stand on our word.
That's where the word is born.
If we don't stand on our own word, how can we expect anyone else to take us serious?
That's what the brother was, before I even come into this camp. I said something, and he's like, look, you got to take yourself serious first before anyone else takes you serious.
That's right.
And that is like the truth, man. And that's also, like I said, the energy that was within you that you're going to push out. If you're taking yourself seriously and you're being austere and whatnot, then people will see that and feel that.
So I was going to say, that's why the scripture says to make not a vow or oath. Because if you're not going to stick to those things, then it's best you just keep our mouth. It's best we just keep our mouth shut. So you know, in a world now, what do you hear these kids say all the time? Oh, mum's life, mum's life.
I know.
That's the new thing now.
I know.
You don't understand. You're actually making a swear on your mum's life. So my children's life, huh? That was always weird to me in the world, man. That's
God. So yeah, the Most High has given us this doctrine, which is a sound doctrine. Jump to 16.
Deuteronomy 32, verse 16.
What have we gone and done?
Read from 15.
Verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked.
So when the Most High was blessing us now, like, yeah, look on me. Wax fat, go on.
Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. It's not talking about
You always say it's got physical and spiritual power. We always say that.
It says,
I
thou art
was
grown,
living good now.
Living good, man.
Yeah.
The bones were fat.
Yeah.
It's good.
thou art grown thick and are covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High.
Now you think it's your own strength that's going on now.
So the modern day terminology for that would be you're living large.
Yeah.